Good evening, Mason families, and welcome to our Move-In Day webinar featuring housing and residence life. My name is Caitlin Cicchetti, and I'm our Associate Director for Family Programs and Services here in Orientation and Family Programs and Services. And we're so happy to see so many of you join in to hear more about Move-In Day and how to best prepare you and your student for a great experience. Just a few notes to share with you all before I pass it over to our presenter. The presentation slides are currently available on our website, which is masonfamily.gmu.edu/webinars. And we will also be recording this webinar and we'll be posting it either tomorrow or Friday at the latest. So if you want to go back and watch this again, you'll be able to access that again on our website. You will also see a chat box on the left side of your screen. If you have any questions during the webinar, we encourage you to chat them in. We have someone here who's going to be presenting, but we also have a staff member who will be answering your questions during the webinar. So please don't hesitate to ask anything that's on your mind using the chat bar to your left. Also wanted to mention, if any of you are calling into the webinar via a phone, if you can just mute your phone, that way we won't hear any feedback and the other listeners here won't hear any of the feedback on your end. So with that, I will go ahead and introduce our presenter, who is Melissa Thierry, who is the Associate Director of Housing Services, and she will present the webinar. And again, please use the chat feature on your left to ask us any questions. So thank you, Melissa.
Hello, hello. I'm so excited to talk to you today about freshman move-in. I'm going to present a few high points about move-in. Everything I go through today, like Caitlin said, will be online for so you can go back and reference it. Also, all the information we do today is on our website at housing.edu, masonhousing.edu. So if you could just sit back, and I'm going to go through a few things, but ask some questions through the chat feature if you have any, and we'll answer those as we're going through. All right. So I just wanted to start out by saying that in housing and in residence life, we really do provide a student-centered community that supports the academic mission of the university. Really what we do here in housing and residence life is just try to have all our students living on campus be as successful Mason students as they can be. And it starts with move-in day. So it's just an important thing for me to put out there, that it's really all about your students' success. So overview, what we're going to talk about today is I'm going to give you a little overview of what to expect on Thursday, August 27th. What you should and should not bring to campus. We definitely have some items that are better to bring than others. What to expect on move-in day, and what about after move-in. So everyone's moved in, we've unpacked, what do we do now? So those are the things I'm going to hit on. Okay, so move-in. Like I said, it is a very exciting day. Move-in is a one-day thing for our first-year students. It's on Thursday, August 27th. That's 2 weeks from tomorrow. We move in approximately 2,400 first-year students on that day. So it's quite a logistical celebration, really. We put a lot of planning into it. We have over 850 upper class and full-time staff volunteers that help on that day. And so we're really quite proud of it. It's an entire Mason community day that we come out and we truly welcome our first year students. We do ask that all students, because it's 2,400 students moving in to two different neighborhoods on campus mainly, that we do separate the move-in times to be pretty thought out, so we don't have everyone show up at one time. And all these times are listed on our website, and it's separated by building and by floor. So go ahead, you know where you're moving into, you know what building, you know what room. So go online and look and see if you live on Madison first floor, if you live on Taylor fourth floor, you can look and see what time you should arrive to campus to check in. We always get the question saying, but it'd work better for me if we come early. And we really do appreciate that. But really, for 2,400 students, it does help tremendously if people do not arrive before their assigned time. We also get the question, well, I can't make our assigned time. Can I come after? Yes, absolutely. If you can't come on your assigned time, you're welcome to come after your assigned time. Just try not to come before your assigned time. So, some tips on this day. Like I said, a lot of people are coming at one time. Enter campus at the correct entrance. And when I say that, there's definitely, if you are moving into the Shenandoah neighborhood, so if you live in President's Park or in Taylor Hall, there's a certain entrance to enter campus for that neighborhood. If you are moving into the Rappahannock neighborhood, either Commonwealth, Dominion, or a member of the Commons, there's a different entrance into campus for that. And we have maps that I know that my team has uploaded onto Facebook and to Twitter, and we're working on getting them on our website. We haven't done that yet because we're trying to get it in the right format so you can read it the best. But there's two different entrances, so please pay attention. If you're going to the Shenandoah neighborhood, you're going to enter at one time at one section of campus, and if you're going to the Rappahannock neighborhood, you're going to enter at a different entrance. Shenandoah. So if you're in the Shenandoah neighborhood, that's if you're in the President's Park or in Taylor, and that traffic pattern, you're not allowed to leave your car. You're basically going to drive up with your car full of boxes and bags and other things like that. You're going to stop. Volunteers and other members of your party are going to get out and get everything out of the car. The driver is not allowed to leave the car. The driver has to stay with the car. And then as soon as the car is unloaded with everything that's going to the residence hall, the driver then needs to get back in the car and move the car and keep on going. Just because Shenandoah is so tight, there's just no space to actually park the car and leave the car, then come back. You have to unload and then continue going. And then you can take the shuttle bus back to Shenandoah and meet the rest of your student and other family members that might have come. And I'll talk more about the shuttle buses later. If you're moving into Rappahannock, and let me just keep on repeating, Rappahannock is if you're in the Commons, those are 7 buildings in the Commons, or in Piedmont, Commonwealth, or Dominion, you are going to enter campus on the other side, and you're going to go to a parking deck where you actually have a 30-minute unloading time. And there will be carts and different bins that you can use to put everything in, and volunteers will be there as well to help you move your things. But you only have 30 minutes, and then you have to move your vehicle. But you can leave your car for a little bit and then come back. Campus shuttles will be running to take you to and from long-term parking, because the long-term parking is it's a good hike. I mean, I'll be honest, but that's why we have the shuttles. So the Shenandoah neighborhood, so that is that consists of our President Park buildings, and our new hall, Taylor Hall, is located in the Shenandoah neighborhood. So you're going to enter campus via Braddock Road, and it's all on the maps. So you're going to take a look at the map and then come off. So if you're not on Braddock Road when you come to campus and you're going to the Shenandoah, you need to find Braddock Road. You're going to turn left on Roanoke River Road and then follow the signs to Lot C, which is the check-in. You're not going to park in Lot C. You're just going to check into Lot C. And like I said before, you're going to drive up. There'll be a lot of staff and student volunteers helping you out. We're going to welcome you. We're going to get real excited, and we're going to unload all your things. We're going to label them. It does help us out if you do label your boxes before you get here with your name and room and building. But if not, we have labels, we have markers, we have all that good stuff. You unload everything. Your student can stay with their items, and then the driver, whether that's mom, dad, or a friend or a family member, gets back in the car and then continues on to long-term parking. We have lots of volunteers that will then help you point in the right direction if you're going to go into Park 1, Park 2, or Taylor. Depending on where you are is when you'll actually unload. And here's the map. Like I said, we're trying really hard to get this online. I really think it's going to happen tomorrow. It's already posted on Facebook and our Twitter pages, but here it is for your reference. And so you can see all the arrows. You're going to enter in off of Braddock Road there. You're going to hang a right into Lot C, check in, and then you'll follow along the circle there, depending on if you're in Park 1, Park 2, or Taylor. But like I said, you don't have to do any of this by yourself. We have lots of volunteers. We have our police cadets out. We have the GMU police are out helping direct traffic and everything. So as long as you come off of Braddock Road and you get into campus, we will help you get where you need to be. All right. And continue on the Shenandoah neighborhood, just it's a different view of it. Like once you check in, we'll tell you to either go this direction into Taylor Hall. If you're in President's Park 1, you go this direction. In President's Park 2, you kind of go south a little bit. It's a little, looking at these maps, I can see you can be kind of confused a little bit, but believe me, once you get into campus off of Braddock Road, we'll have lots of signage and lots of people there to help you get where you need to be. Rappahannock neighborhood are students that are assigned to Piedmont Hall, Commonwealth, Dominion, and the Commons. Those are our first year buildings in Rappahannock neighborhood. You're going to enter campus via University Drive. So if you live in one of the buildings I just talked about and you're coming in on Braddock, you're on the wrong road. You need to get on University Drive. And you're going to follow the traffic to Rappahannock parking deck. So unlike Shenandoah neighborhood, you will actually be routed into a parking area where you can park your car, turn off your car, and unload, where there'll be really a large number of staff and student volunteers helping you out with bins and other things to help you move your things. Ground floor is the unloading zone, and families are allowed to park in your deck as long as for long term upon initial arrival. So I do want to say that, earlier I said 30 minutes unload and everything, but once it's full, people, if you get there early and you get a spot, we're not going to make you move. But if you come in one of the later ones, you have 30 minutes to unload, and depending on how full the deck is, you might have to go move your car to long-term parking, where then you can grab a shuttle and then come back to the Rappahannock neighborhood. So here's a map of the Rappahannock neighborhood. You're going to enter in off of University Drive, which you see it at the top, and if you see the green arrows and everything, it shows you the different ways that you get to the Rappahannock parking deck. But like I said, if you enter in off of University Drive, you're going to see a lot of signage, a lot of different people will be around to help navigate where you need to go. But ultimately, the check-in and unload area is the Rappahannock parking deck. So that's what you need to just keep in mind when you come to campus. All right. Lot A and Lot K are designated lots for move-in. So when you come to campus and you've unloaded all your students' belongings and you're ready to move your car to long-term parking, we also have a lot of signs and volunteers to help you point your way to the right direction. It's kind of Lot A and K are on the other side of campus of Rappahannock and Shenandoah neighborhoods, but we have 4 shuttles constantly circling Patriot Circle to help transport you and your family back to the Rappahannock neighborhood or the Shenandoah neighborhood. And these shuttle stops are very, very easy to see. We have these, you see them at car dealerships all the time, these very tall kind of blow up men that kind of dance in the wind and everything. They're very tall and huge. Just look for one of those, and that's where you go to pick up a shuttle. It shouldn't be more than 5-10 minutes until the next shuttle comes around, probably less than that. So we have plenty of free parking. You can park there all day long. So I'm going to answer a question real quick while people are still here. Lots of questions about wait lists. When can they expect to hear if they are on it? Anything else to share? Now we have first year wait list and upper class wait list. Now our first year wait list, if you're a first year student and you're still waiting for an assignment, that's a great question. You need to email housing@gmu.edu. I can honestly say I only have about less than 10 students that haven't been assigned yet. So if you're still waiting to get an assignment, please email housing@gmu.edu and mention that Melissa was talking at the webinar and told us to email in, and we'll give you an update on your assignment. If you're an upper class student applying for the wait list, all our upper class students have been offered a spot to choose a room. And so if you have questions about the upper class wait list, also email housing@gmu.edu, and we'll be more than happy to answer your question about the upper class wait list. Just be sure you say if you're an upper class student or if you're a freshman student, because it does depend on how we answer your question. Yes, I'll talk. There are also some questions about upper class move in, and I'll definitely talk about that at the end of the slide session. So how do I pack? The best part, when I think about packing, and students ask us about packing when they come to campus, I would really say have everything well labeled, have everything organized in either boxes or bags with sturdy bags. We really try to tell people not to pack in trash bags or, like trash can liner sort of bags, just because those can be very easily confused for actual waste, and we don't want someone accidentally throwing something away. So please pack in actual tubs or bins or cardboard boxes with your names labeled on it. If you label it before you come, that does save us a little bit of time. But if you forget to do that, don't worry. We have labels and markers and everything when you check in, so we can make sure items go to the correct building and room. As you see on the slide here in front of you, the room is furnished. It's furnished with a bed, dresser, and everything you need to be a successful college student. So don't bring your own bed. Don't bring your own desk and desk chair. We have all that. We get a lot of questions saying, I really want my own chair that's more comfortable or supportive for my back. And that is more than welcome. But that is fine. You can bring your own chair. It's just anything that's in the room that belongs to the Commonwealth of Virginia needs to stay in the room. It cannot be removed. Some parents just say, oh, I'm just going to store it in the garage for the year. I'll bring it back. And actually, we don't like that. We really would just prefer you leave it in the room. And then, but you can bring in different chairs. You can bring in a pad for your mattress to make it a little more comfortable. And you can bring window coverings as long as they're fire protected, and rugs. You're more than welcome. Make the room your own. Oops, wrong button. But we do also try to suggest to minimize what you bring. Bring what you feel like are the essentials, that this will really make me comfortable and most successful here at Mason. But just know when you get here, you can always go and get more items later, either by purchasing them or having them shipped from home. So I always try to suggest to students go on the smaller side as far as what you're going to bring, and then see what fits, see what your roommate brings, and then go and get more or have it shipped to you later. Again, don't use trash bags. It's just we've had some instances in the past where unfortunately things were mistaken for a waste. And label everything, your name, building, room number, so we can make sure things get to where they need to be. Other things to bring, I'm not going to go through everything. All this is on our website just to save time. But yes, refrigerators are allowed, microwaves are allowed. Certain sizes are very important to check and make sure that they don't exceed the numbers that you see on the screen here. They're also on our website. Due to safety reasons and what kind of electricity load we can handle in our buildings, we really don't allow any refrigerators bigger than 3 cubic feet and microwaves bigger than 0.6 cubic feet. So it is important to check that out. But bring a coffee maker as long as it doesn't have an open coil. Make the room your own. Leave at home any appliance with exposed heating elements. Please, anything that has, like a coffee maker that has a bottom that heats the coffee. These Keurigs and other kind of coffee makers that brew the coffee and then go straight into a mug that doesn't actually heat it. Those are great. No toasters, no George Foreman grills, no propane grills. We get those every year. Leave those at home. Weapons, no pets, except for a fish. If it's not a fish, you can't have it. No lizards, no frogs, nothing like that. No open flames of any kind. The plug-in air fresheners are a no-no, no matter what kind they are. And pretty much if you think, well, this could start a fire, I would leave it at home. Also, we get some questions. Some families travel quite a distance to come to Mason, which is wonderful, and they want to stay the night and kind of make a weekend of being in the Northern Virginia area. There's a lot to do. We do say that the Marriott Fairfax at Fair Oaks and Spring Hill Suites are offering discounted room rates, and so there's a link there, and we encourage you to take advantage of that if that's something you're looking for. But the other question we get, like I said, okay, so I moved in. My time was 11 in the morning. We showed up. We got all our stuff to our room. We moved our car to long-term parking. We unpacked, met the roommate and their family. We're just having a great time. All the clothes are in the drawers. The bed's made. Everything is looking really good. Now, what do I do now? So, with parents, honestly, parents, I think it's wonderful that y'all are there and it's a great presence to have you on campus. But starting around the residence hall floor meeting, which you see at 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, really after that, there's really not much a time slot for parents to be involved on campus anymore. But we do say, yes, go to lunch with your student, go to dinner with your student, take them out to eat, spend a lot of money, whatever you would like to do, say your goodbyes. But come 7:30 is a good time to let your student go to their mandatory residence hall floor meeting, and then you can go on and either have a night on the town or head back home or whatever you would like to do, because we definitely have wonderful programming for your student here on campus. So you can see there on the screen, starting after the floor meetings, there's a fun hypnotist that comes every year, and it's just an amazing show. It's a lot of fun. There's a game show also they can choose to go to. We have bingo with some fun games. And then later that night, we have Jurassic World, which just came out in theaters that students can watch. So it's great. So for more Welcome Week, and that's the start of our Welcome Week. We have our campus partners plan all year long for a wonderful time for our freshmen when they get here on Thursday before classes start on Monday. Wonderful programming and ways to get to know the Mason community, get to know the roommates and people in your buildings, and get to know the campus as a whole before classes start on Monday. And it's just a wonderful time to be here on campus. And you can get the entire list of activities and events at welcomeweek.gmu.edu. Before I go into joining us on social media, we're getting another question about Mason Global Center instructions. For those of you that don't know, Mason Global Center is a wonderful building on campus that used to be a hotel that now houses a wonderful international student population. It also houses a great living learning community of domestic students, and it houses, I think, 37 freshmen this year, which is wonderful. It's always a great community over in the Mason Global Center. So the 37 first-year students that are moving into the Mason Global Center, because it is such a small amount of people, can really come anytime between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. The Mason Global Center is located on the other side of campus in the Rappahannock neighborhood and the Shenandoah neighborhood. So it's easier to get to, and they have their own parking lot and their own parking deck. And there'll be some signs and a few volunteers over there as well, and lots of staff. I think there'll be more staff there than volunteers. But it's also going to be a very festive time and welcoming these 37 students into that building. So there isn't an assigned time per se because it is a small amount, but we do ask that you come between the time of 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. And you can just go directly to the Mason Global Center. That's a great question. But I do, like I said, we're putting so much information on our social media through Facebook and Twitter. And also you can email if any questions directly about move-in, not assignments, but if you have a question about actually move-in day 2 weeks from tomorrow, you can email movecrew@gmu.edu, and our wonderful student staff leaders will be answering those emails pretty soon after you send them. You can also tweet us or go on Facebook and ask us some questions there because we're constantly answering questions like that. It's a great way to keep involved. Oh, yes, thank you. Caitlin was reminding me I was going to talk about upper class move-in. Upper class move-in is a wonderful time. Our upper class is not able to move in until Saturday, August 29th, because we do give us some time for our first years to get on campus. And then upperclassmen can move in that Saturday. We also ask that our upperclassmen move in at an assigned time. Those times are also listed on our website. So we ask that you come no sooner than the time listed, but of course you could come after. Honestly, a lot of our upper class students don't arrive until later at night, sometimes midnight, 1 in the morning. We have 24-hour desks. So let's say even for first year students, let's say your travel plans got changed for whatever reason, you got delayed on the road or your flight came in late, and you arrive, let's say after 7 p.m. or even really late, like closer to midnight, no problem at all. If you arrive on campus, we have 24-hour desks in each neighborhood, in the Shenandoah neighborhood and in the Rappahannock neighborhood. So if you arrive that late, you can just go to one of those desks and say, I'm here to move in, and we'll be more than happy to help you out. But upper class students, we do ask that you don't arrive till Saturday the 29th, and freshman students need to arrive no sooner than your assigned time on Thursday, August 27th. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and bring you back to the first slide. And I know we've had a lot of people join after we started this webinar, but I know some of you are continuing to ask questions. I see the questions coming in, and Catherine is over there. She's one of our wonderful student leaders. She's answering questions as fast as her fingers can type, and so please continue doing that. And I'm just going to go ahead and repeat some of the things I already went over. And so if you want to go ahead and leave and continue on your evening, please do so. But I'm going to go ahead and repeat a few things for those of you that might have missed something. All right, so I just can't stress enough, all this information is on our website at housing.gmu.edu. And listed on the website is the assigned move-in times. Everybody is assigned a time based on the building and the floor that you're assigned to. So if you're assigned to Piedmont 4th floor, you can go on the website and look for Piedmont 4th, and it'll give a time. If you're moving into Monroe Hall, let's say you live on 2nd floor, I'm pretty sure that's 1 p.m. that you move in. And so you can just go in and look and see, I'm assigned to Monroe Hall, 2nd floor. This is the time I move in. We ask that you don't arrive before the move-in time. If you're running late and you want to come after your move-in time, that is fine. Or we're getting some questions too that some people, because of travel reasons, they can't come till Friday or Saturday. And that is more than fine. If you arrive on Friday or Saturday, you won't have to do all the traffic patterns you're about to see. You'll just have to arrive to your center desk, which is in Rappahannock. It's at Piedmont, and in their Shenandoah neighborhood, it's in Eisenhower. You just go to those desks. Those are 24-hour desks, and we can check you in at any time. Oops. All right. We move in about approximately 2,400 students in one day here at Mason. It's a wonderful day. We get real excited about it. In order for this to work, you need to enter campus at the correct entrance. So if you are assigned to the Rappahannock neighborhood, you'll be entering off of University Drive. If you're assigned to the Shenandoah neighborhood, you're going to be entering in off of Braddock. And I'm about to go through those maps here in a minute. Just really know before you come where your student is assigned, know what building and what floor they live on, and volunteers and other police cadets and the police officers will be around. Traffic control people will be out on street corners and different places to help you get where you need to go. So the Shenandoah neighborhood, that's if you're assigned to President's Park, If you're assigned to Taylor Hall, you're part of the Shenandoah neighborhood. You're going to enter campus via Braddock Road. Then you turn left on Roanoke River Road off of Braddock, and then you follow the signs and volunteers and everyone else that's going to be out there to Lot C, where you'll actually check into your room there in Lot C. While you're in your car, you're going to be getting all checked into your room. And then once you're checked in, depending on where you're going, if you're going to Taylor Hall or to Park 1 or to Park 2, it'll depend on where you're going. But remember, at all time, the driver must stay with the vehicle. The driver cannot leave the car, and we're going to be we're going to be helping you out with that to remind you of that. So here's a map. This is going on our website momentarily. I think we're having a little issues getting it up there, but this is the one for Shenandoah neighborhood, and as you see, Braddock Road is at the bottom of the map there, and that's where you enter, and then you enter in on Roanoke River, and you just follow the orange arrows to where you need to go. And then you'll check in at Lot C. You see Lot C there. There's a little traffic pattern there because there will be a line of cars, just preparing yourself for that. You check in. After you check in there, we will then route you to where you need to go to actually unload, which this map shows that better. After you check in, we'll either route you one way if you live in Park 1, another direction if you're in Park 2, and then a third direction if you're in Taylor Hall. So the Rappahannock neighborhood is if you're assigned to Piedmont, Commonwealth or Dominion, or any of the 7 commons in the Commons neighborhood, section of buildings rather. That's part of the Rappahannock neighborhood. These people who are assigned to these buildings need to enter campus via University Drive. And you follow the traffic to Rappahannock parking deck. You enter the parking deck and you turn to the ground floor. Like I said, you're not going to have to do this all by yourself. There'll be lots of signs, lots of people to help you. But don't go rogue on us. We have some people that always want to go turn their car somewhere down another street or another parking, ramp or something, thinking this is the secret way. But no, you're just going to have to go to the back of the line and start over. So just follow the car in front of you and you'll get to where you need to go. Families are allowed to park in the deck long-term upon initial arrival. Again, to remember, you're going to have all your items marked to be ready to go. When you have a parking spot in the deck there for Rappahannock, there'll be volunteers and staff there that can help you check out a bin. You put all your items in a bin, and the volunteers will help you move that to where you need to go to check in. And then you can leave your car there. But if there isn't room in the deck at that time, they will probably ask you to go ahead and move your car to long-term parking. And here's a map of the Rappahannock parking deck. University Drive is there toward the top of the map, if you see. And you follow the green arrows, and you just follow along, and there'll be lots of people helping you go where you need to go. One of the things we really try to do is keep traffic off of Chain Bridge Road and off of University Drive as much as we can. So we try to get you around because you're looking at the map thinking that's not the most direct way to Rappahannock parking deck. But there is a method to our madness. You got to trust us. We put a lot of time and effort into this. So if you follow the green arrows, it will point you in the right direction and you will end up to Rappahannock parking deck. So this long-term parking, like I said, there's not going to be a lot of space to actually park long-term in Rappahannock. And in Shenandoah, there's no parking near the buildings. And so Lot A and Lot K are some really big lots that are located closer to Eagle Bank Arena. And that is where you can go. You drive your car there, you can park it there. And then we have 4 shuttle buses that are running from 7 a.m. all the way to 4 or 5 p.m. to help you get from your car and long-term parking back to your neighborhood. And then when you're done in your neighborhood, you can also catch one of those shuttles and take it back to your car. So just keep this in mind if you're thinking, oh, it's going to be hot and I'm going to be tired and I don't want to walk across campus. We will have the shuttles available for you, and it's a great service. So how to pack. Look at this. There's a picture right there. This happy family. They did a great job. And so, how to pack. Like I said, you need to try to label everything. Pack in boxes that aren't, that's not too heavy that one person can't move by themselves. Label it with the last name and your assignment on there. Use boxes or reusable bins or other sturdy bags with handles. What we do recommend is that you don't pack in trash bag liners because unfortunately in the past we've just had some people mistake those for actual waste and sometimes they end up in dumpsters and such, and we do not want that to happen to the comforter that your grandmother made for you. And so just pack in boxes or tote bags with handles or other sturdy items. The room is fully furnished, so you don't have to bring furniture, that you'll have to, it's not an empty room, and it's furnished with the necessities. But yes, if you want to bring an extra chair to sit in or a desk chair that's more comfortable for you, please do bring what you feel like you need to be more comfortable and more successful. Just know that any furniture that is in the room must stay in the room. Since I'm on the topic of rooms, I am getting a question here that I can talk about carpeting. So lots of questions about which buildings have carpet and which don't. I would say about 90% of our first year rooms have carpeting. Some rooms are intentional that we don't put carpeting in because we do have to have some rooms available in case of allergies and other things. And some rooms, we don't need them. It just depends on the room of the year to year, whether or not we need these rooms for allergy reasons or not. Most of the time, students are assigned to a room that don't have carpet because it just so happens it just doesn't have carpet. I don't have a list of those rooms right now, but I can tell you that it's most of I would say over 90% of our rooms, first year rooms, does have carpeting. And so I am not the best person to answer the questions who doesn't have carpeting, but if you email housing@gmu.edu, we will try our hardest to answer that question for you. I can't guarantee it, and I do understand it's a concern, but I would err on the side that your room will have carpeting. Another question we're getting is about raising or lofting beds and what's the timeline for that. We do not here at Mason, we do not loft beds at bunk bed height. So you cannot, when we say lofting beds, we don't loft beds to a point where you can actually walk underneath your bed. When we say lofting beds, it's really just lifting it to the level of your waist. Some people call it captain height or other things like that. So basically, you can request for our maintenance crew to come in and do that for you. You can do that. They're around in all the buildings on move-in day, and so you can find your RA and they can help you get the maintenance guys to come and help you do that, or you can put a request in. Usually it happens within the first 2-3 days over the weekend, definitely before classes start. But some students and families figure out how to do that. You don't have to have any tools to do it. You can do it on your by yourself. And some students figure out how to do that, and that is fine. We are fine with that. Just be careful doing it. But our maintenance team is around and can be more than happy to help you with that. And bed risers, that's a great thing because I know storage is a very important thing in residence hall rooms. And so a great way to get that extra storage space is by lifting your bed just as much as you can. So when you lift your bed up to captain's height, you can usually fit some drawers underneath there. But to get an extra 6 inches or so, you can buy bed risers from lots of different places, Bed Bath & Beyond or Target or something. Those are very legal. You can use them. But you do not want to purchase ones that have an outlet. Some of them for home use have outlets put in them, so you can, just another feature. If your risers have outlets, we're going to tell you to take it down, and that's a pain, so don't do that. Just get the plain old risers that have no electricity associated with them, and you're more than welcome to use those in your room. but minimize what you bring. Every year we do have a lot of students that just in case I'm going to bring this. I don't know. I really think I need, 6 coats and my ski jacket and my skis and my just everything they can think of. And I really would kind of go a little minimal than over because you can always go back home or have your parents ship things to campus if you need them or go home one weekend and get it. We do find a lot of the times some parents, they bring everything and then we see them taking half of it home with them because it just doesn't fit or they realize they don't need it. And so just remember, whatever you bring in August, you have to take home in May. So just keep that in mind when you're bringing things to campus. But I don't want to discourage you. Please bring the thing. Bring your high school yearbook. Bring things that will make you feel more at home and just happy to be here at Mason. So yes, bring a refrigerator and a microwave. Those are more than welcome in our residence halls. They just need to be a very specific size. They cannot be bigger than 3 cubic feet for the refrigerator and for the microwave 0.6 cubic feet. We do that for safety reasons because our electricity only takes so much. Coffee maker, bring the coffee maker. Very important thing and save you a lot of money. We have 2 Starbucks on campus, but that adds up pretty quick. So bring your coffee maker. The one thing you need to remember about it, it can't have a warmer at the bottom, like a hot plate that a lot of traditional coffee makers have. You need one of these coffee makers that brews immediately into a cup or a mug and does not have a warmer at the bottom. But bring your posters, bring your other photos and other things to really make your room your own. We do have a suggested packing list on our website. Things not to bring. Don't bring the fireworks. Don't bring the weapons. Pets. Do not bring a pet with you. They are not allowed. Fish, if it's in a 10-gallon tank or smaller, we can. So, a lot of students have little betta fishes and such. Those are wonderful to have. You're welcome to have that. We do on opening day often have families that bring their golden retriever with them that has been best friends with the student for the last 10 years. And I love dogs. I have 2 of my own. But here on opening day with 2,400 students, the dog is not allowed in our residence hall. So unfortunately, the dog would have to stay outside or in a hot car. And of course, we can't have that. So say goodbye to your pet at home and then come to campus. No candles, nothing with an open flame. Pretty much if it makes you pause for a moment and think, oh, I don't know if this is safe, I wouldn't bring it. We do have some parents and families that make a weekend of it because we are in Northern Virginia, very close to Washington, D.C. It's a good chance to drop your student off at Mason and then go see some sights. So discounted room rates are available at the Marriott Fairfax, at Fair Oaks, and Spring Hill Suites. You can get more information on the Mason family website there. But the student schedule, we always get some questions from parents because it is such a fun day and a lot going on with moving in, and then maybe you're going to go grab some lunch at one of the places on campus. You're going to meet up with the roommate, maybe meet the roommate's family. But come 7:30 when the residence hall meetings start is really a good time before that to say goodbye to your student for the time and wish them well, tell them to go to their floor meeting, and that's a really great time for the parents and the family to go ahead and leave campus. The students have a wonderful time, a lot of things planned that evening. The hypnotist will be on campus, which is really a fun show. We have a game show going on, also Mason Bingo, and then later on that night, if your student isn't absolutely exhausted, we have a fun late night movie of Jurassic World going on at 2 different locations on campus. And so yes, take your student out for a nice dinner before the residence hall floor meetings at 7:30, but that would be a good time to say goodbye to your student for the time being, not forever. And then, but more, like I said, we have a fun-filled weekend. I mean, starting on that Thursday night with the hypnotist and other things and the movie, Friday, we have convocation in the morning, which is a wonderful tradition here at George Mason, where the president and other members of the faculty and staff at Mason welcome the freshman class to campus, and other fun things all weekend long. And then, of course, classes starting on Monday. And so please visit welcomeweek.gmu.edu for a full list of activities. And our first year students just will be so ready for classes to start, so things can maybe calm down a little bit. So last, just remember we have a very lively and active Facebook and Twitter page. We have wonderful student leaders who are answering our Move Crew at gmu.edu site. If your question is really about move-in and other things about the move-in process, please email moveitcrew@gmu.edu. If your question is more about your assignment, you can email housing@gmu.edu. But anyone you email will get you to the right person you need to. All right.
Pass it back to me.
Okay, so there you go, Caitlin.
Great. Thank you so much to Melissa for providing all of that information, and a special thank you to Catherine, who has been chatting very efficiently the answers to all of your questions. We will have a recording of this webinar available as early as tomorrow on our website, which is again masonfamily.gmu.edu. And the slides, the PowerPoint slides, are currently available on our website right now. So if you wanted to check those out, they are posted on our website, which is on the screen. So what we will do at this point is I will shut down the audio and the video, but we will remain in the chat room for a few moments. So if you have additional questions for Melissa or Catherine, they will stick around a little bit longer to answer those for you, but you won't be able to see us or hear us at that point. So thank you again for tuning in, and we hope to see you on August 27th for Move-In Day.